How's it going, everybody? Doing a top 5. Gum chewing top 5. My top 5 original Xbox games vid my favorite 5 games from the Xbox. The 5th game could be interchangeable, but this is one I decided to go with. I do own 3 of them. I do not own 2. So, thanks everybody let me know about, saying they like the gain up a little higher. So now I'm filming in the living room tonight, so there's less possibility of cars being picked up from Sunrise Highway. But if you like this video, give it a like. I'll do more of my top 5s. I've done way too Nintendo 64 already. But number 5 I do not own, and I decided to go with, like I said, the last game I could flip-flop things out, right? Number 5 is Manhunt, and that's because I played and completed Manhunt on the Xbox. It's obviously also on the PS2. It's actually probably picking up the cat eating. But really cool game. It's kind of even a survival horror game, you can call it. They did make a second, which I played some of on the Wii of all systems, and it was not bad, but I never beat it. So, Manhunt's essentially a snuff film. It starts off with your character, James Earl Cash. He's going to get executed, and he's in prison, and he gets set free by the director, and he just goes out into the city. I think it's Carcer City. This city is also in the GTA universe. It's actually mentioned in, it might be GTA 3 on one of the radio stations. It's supposed to be, I think, like a Detroit. But so you're going around the city now, and the director's in your ear, and you have gangs that are trying to kill you. It's a stealth game as well. You have to hide in the shadows. If they gang up on you, you're kind of fucked. And the hook of this game, like I said, the director's filming everything. He pretty much has the police force on his payroll and everything else. So he pretty much do whatever he wants. And you have to execute these gang members. And if you hold down the button behind someone long enough, it will go from, like, I think it's yellow or green to yellow to red. There's levels of kills you can get with each executions, I should call them, sorry. With each thing goes up. The better the kill, but the more the risk. They have compilations of this shit, or videos of this, all of them on YouTube. And for at the time, I remember I rented this game originally on the PS2, but didn't beat it on the PS2. And I was playing it, and I like immediately called my friend. I'm like, I gotta come over and show you guys this game, because this game is fucked. It's extremely violent. Like I said, I mean, they'll show a guy a bad execution, they'll bat a dude's head, and you'll see the brains go against the camera. There's a mission where one gang has some of your family members, like, tied to poles, and if they spot you, they will just run up to one of them and blow their heads off. It's extremely gory and over the top. Brian Cox, he was in that show. What is it called? Succession. That was the last thing he was in. I know him from other shit, like Super Troopers and The Minus Man, and other movies from back then. Manhunter. He was the first Hannibal Lecter on the big screen. But he does such a great job at Starkweather. He is like he's over the top in a good way. It's cheesy, but he's over the top. Some of the shit he says to Cash, he's like, you're stacking up the corpses like it was Judgment Day. Like, he wants to get crazier kills for his snuff film shit. Eventually you do kill him. I think you cut him open with a chainsaw, and his like intestines fall out at the end. But it's a good stealth game. And if you had the PS2 mic and headset, like if you whispered into the thing, the enemies would hear you. Pretty good dialogue between the enemies too. That was ridiculous. Typical Rockstar type shit. But really cool game. It looked good graphically at the time. And you get help from, I think, a woman reporter helps you out at some point. But everybody's like on the take and shit. And like I said, you deal with different gangs and stuff throughout in the different areas of the city. And everything's being filmed and shit. Like I said, some of the kills are violent. The plastic bag one, you get a shard of glass. I think you get a crowbar, a baseball bat, aluminum bat, no less. I forget some of the other stuff. It was violent, really cool. It actually is a good stealth game, though. If you just took out the excessive violence, like it is, I didn't mind it, obviously. At the time I played it, I was probably 24 or something. This would not be for kids. This is a strong M rating. It's also kind of goofy, though. It has that Rockstar goofiness to it. But really cool game. If you've never checked out Manhunt and you're into stealth games, check it out, because it's not necessarily punishing either. But you do come across guns as well, I think, occasionally. It's been a long time since I played. I should pick it up again. That's number 5. Number 4, I'm going to put this at number 4. I'm kind of doing this on the fly in terms of the order they're in. Outside of knowing Manhunt was 5. Dead to Rights. This game's awesome. I like this better than the Max Payne's. Even though Max Payne is the better story-driven game. For sure. And this game actually just borrows the bullet time from Max Payne. But, it's a really cool game. He plays Jack Slade here. You get accused of, framed for... I don't know if you get framed for killing your own father. Does it say it? Doesn't say it. You get framed for killing somebody. Once again, there's corrupt cops and shit in this. But the gameplay in this game is awesome. Like I said, you have that bullet time from Max Payne, slow down. You have your dog Shadow. No, Shadow is not here. Undercover Shadow. Shadow will disarm enemies and bring you their guns. You can do finishing moves. You can do disarm moves. When you get... It takes a little bit to get used to because there's just a lot going on. But once you get used to it, you're just doing shit like it's flowing nicely. This was originally an Xbox exclusive, or like the version I had back when I had gotten it. This is not the same one I had back then. I had only for Xbox, but eventually came to PS2 and GameCube. And this game, I don't think actually has a difficulty level. It's just set, and it's a pretty fucking hard game. It was set at one difficulty level. There was no changing it. There was no normal, easy. I'm pretty sure. And then the PS2 and the GameCube ones added like different difficulties. It didn't review as well as this one. Not that I think this got in like the 7s, but there are mini games as well. I forgot about that. There's a lot going on in this game. You end up in prison at one point because you do get caught, and then you break out, and you gotta like get cigarettes for guards and shit. And you're doing weightlifting in prison. There's a shit ton of enemies in this game. They just will throw them at you at points. Really cool and unique boss fights. I've talked about this game in the past. Like you're fighting this boxer guy in like the gas chamber, and you have to punch the mask off his face so you can put it on. There's another one where you're fighting a guy in a plane, and you have to shoot the liquor bottle out of his hand. You're fighting the mayor, Pinnacle, and he's huge, and you gotta like jump up on him and like try to choke him out because he's like 3 times your size. And you fight some cop at the end, corrupt cop. That's a pretty cool fight. It was hard. Like I said, this game was tough at points, but really cool. Great action in this game. I would absolutely pick this game up if you've never played it, and it is cheap. It should still be under $10. It's pretty long too, actually, from what I remember. 15 action-packed set in a dark, crime-ridden city. But really, too, cool game, trying to kind of clear your name and shit and expose the corruption of the cops. And it kind of doesn't necessarily end on a high note either. You kind of just leave and you're like, yeah, I killed pretty much everybody, but someone's gonna take their place, type shit. Really cool game, though. Oh, you can use human shields as well. It's a really good kind of arcadey style, and it's like, just like I said, there's no shortage of enemies, and it's fun. The voice acting's pretty good as well. Pretty good music also in here. But yeah. Number 4, Dead Rights. I'm gonna say 3 is 2 and 3. One I know. 2 and 3. I could swap, but 3 I'm gonna say Morrowind. Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. I do not own that. That's another one I need to pick up again. First Elder Scrolls I played. I remember picking it up. I was reading about it on the internet, checking scores. I'm like, oh shit, sounds like a cool game I'd be into. And I played it and I was kind of blown away. I was like, holy shit, big open game world. You can go wherever the hell you want and stuff. And the cool thing about Morrowind is, like, compared to Skyrim and Oblivion, and I've not played, I think it was Daggerfall and Arena or something of the other two, is the game world in Morrowind's pretty unique. The middle is like Ash Mountain, where I forget, it was a Daggeth or something. I think it's one of the Daedric princes. He's gonna try to do some shit, and so the whole kind of middle of the map is like ashy and mountainous and stuff, and then the outskirts you got little forests, and you also have like cool big mushrooms. It has a really cool look to it, especially compared to the other game worlds that are standard kind of RPG affair. It's great and it looks awesome. The environments are great in Skyrim and Oblivion, but this one absolutely has a different feel, and it's standard, Elder Scrolls type stuff. You're exploring, finding better stuff, coming across enemies, doing side quests. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they had the Fighters Guild and everything in this one, but I don't know if they went by different names. Yeah, and you couldn't fast travel. You could only fast travel at a few points in this game. There was these things called Self-Striders that were like giant bug type things, and only certain towns had them. So if you weren't out of town, you'd have to run to it. It was fun, like it's classic exploring, finding new things, doing all types of missions, like I said. It starts the same way. I think you end up, you just get off a boat and give the person your name. It's kind of, the way it goes, you pick between who you want your character's races and stuff like that. And sex, the typical Elder Scrolls customization of your character. It's a cool game. Like I said, it was the first one. I'd love to go back and actually play that one. I should probably pick it up. It's not overly expensive for the Xbox. I did play later on. I had gotten like the Game of the Year one at Blood Moon, and I never completed Blood Moon. Is when we could turn to a werewolf. I forget what the other one was called, but it takes place in the Imperial City. I'm pretty sure it takes place in the Imperial City. Like everything takes place there. That was actually a pretty good one. I can't remember what it was called though. I did beat that one, but it's Elder Scrolls. You know what you're getting, and it's fun. I remember like early on, I got the boots of blinding speed, and you put them on like you can't see, but you shoot super fast. Like I said, you're getting different armor and weapons and stuff, and your character ends up looking stupid at some points with weird armor things. Pretty cool cities in this one. I know Vivek was one of the bigger ones. It was Palmyra, was the first one I think you go to, the first big one you go to. I can't remember some of the other names though, but just a cool adventure game where you're exploring stuff and you're leveling up and you're finding new gear and weapons and stuff. And it's just fun. I think Morrowind's the one I don't know if he popped up into this. I'm pretty sure it's Morrowind that has the crab, the mud crab, the giant mud crab that has a bunch of money and he'll buy shit off of you. And I think he always replenishes his money, so you keep going back and sell him stuff. I think you could sell him stuff. I know he had a bunch of money. But yeah, number 3 is Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. And number 2, everybody knows, but number 2, you've all seen this game. It is Halo Combat Evolved, the first Halo. Still my favorite Halo. I didn't play this originally when the system came out. I got the system in March of 2002. First game I got with it was Max Payne, another great one. And I got like Blood Omen 2. Sometimes I knew this game, but I knew it was a shooter, but I didn't know enough about it. And one day my friend's like, oh, my brother was playing this game, Halo, and then I started playing as a shooter. He's like, it's awesome, you should borrow it, and I borrowed it, and loved it. And I've described this, and other people have too. This game is a horror shooter, okay? Once the Flood gets involved, it's a horror shooter. And first things first, the soundtrack in this game is awesome. The gameplay's fun. It's really good. Graphically, at the time, it looked great, and it still kind of holds up fairly well. A lot of big open areas, and you're getting in battles with the Covenant. And obviously, the Covenant, their first appearance in the games. You can use their weapon. You can use their weapons, but you can use their vehicles as well. I think this is the Banshee, right, and the Ghost. I don't think you could use their tank in this one, the Wraith. I could be wrong on that too. I'm not sure. Maybe you actually, no, you can. I'm pretty sure you can actually. And you get different weapons that you can use from both sides. You have the Warthog here, the Scorpion tank. There was multiplayer, and I played a little bit of it with my friend, his brother, but I didn't play much. You could actually do the system link, where if you had 2 TVs, you can hook up 2 Xboxes and link them together and play 8 players, which was kind of cool. A cool thing to be able to do. Like I said, the gameplay is great. You got Master Chief, obviously. Everybody loves Master Chief. And it's just super fun. It's a pretty long shooter, like I said, though. The horror comes in when you do the mission where I think you get a call or something to go to some place and it's dark in there. All of a sudden you come across just dead Marines. I think it's dead Covenant everywhere. And I think there's a Marine who's still alive, or you see him on a camera get killed. And then all of a sudden the Flood comes. I think they infected somebody first. And then there's a library mission where you're just trying to blow away. You have to have the shotgun for this to make it easier. There's just the little Floods are coming out and just everywhere. They're everywhere. But it gets like horror, and like I said, some of the Flood's theme is awesome and creepy. Like I said, great soundtrack, and just a great shooter overall. It's just one of the best shooters probably ever made. I like all the other ones. I don't hate any of them. I think some of them are, like Halo 4. And 5. I like them, but they're not. I wouldn't necessarily want to play them again. Like this one, I'd have no problem playing again. Reach, I would have no problem playing again. ODST is another. Reach, this one, and ODST are my top 3. Although, you know what? The new one that came out of Halo Infinite, well, not new one, where it came out like 21, is awesome too. This is the one that started it all. This is the Bungie one. Bungie stopped every Halo Reach. But yeah, obviously Master Chief Super Soldier. It's cool, actually cool. In the beginning of the game, when you're doing this shit on the ship, if you start shooting at the Marines, they will all take you out. They're like, he's going nuts, and they'll just kill you. But great game. Pretty cool story as well. Because the Halo rings are meant to be set off to destroy everything else in the universe, so the Flood can't feed. And the Flood will, because obviously they will take forms of other things, and they have different kind of things. Some are smaller ones, but they're using weapons and shit. And there are parts in the game where you'll see the Flood fighting the Covenant, which I always thought was cool. And the battles are just cool. Like the fights when you're in like the big open areas, it's just really cool. Good AI in this too. Good enemy AI in this as well. Especially when you bump up the difficulty level, like heroic and legendary. But yeah, Halo Combat Evolved. Valve made Half-Life. Halo Combat Evolved. Number 2. Number 1 probably won't come as much as a surprise. I know a lot of people probably love this game, but it is Knights of the Old Republic. This is a copy I got recently, probably saw it in a pickup video. I got this because it was cheap. It was at $10. Although in the game stores they still sell for like 20, 25. Online you can find it for 10 to 15. Awesome role-playing game by BioWare. I know this is Bastila. I don't know if that's Darth Malik or somebody else. You wake up in a thing and you have like amnesia, and you end up being Darth Revan if you want to be. But you were a Jedi and you fought with this guy, I'm pretty sure, during the Mandalorian Wars, I think, right? And you went to like the Outer Rim or whatever the fuck, and you kind of lost it a little bit, I guess. This takes place like 4,000 years in the past. Yeah, 4,000 years before the Galactic Empire. That's what I love. I think they're doing something like that soon, right? Where it takes place like 400 years before episode 1. Like, please just do that and come up with new fucking characters. Like, maybe Yoda's still there, but everybody else, just make them new characters. You end up with different characters in your party. You obviously can do bad and good things to go more towards the light side or the dark side. You end up with a ship. I think the guy's name's Karth. I think he's in the second one too. So you have a ship to hang out in. You go to different planets. There's Tatooine. You go to Dantooine. Those are only 2 I remember. Oh, you go to the Wookiee's home planet too, Kashyyyk. You go to another planet early where the I guess it's the Sith doing it. They're bombarding the planet with lasers. But it's cool. The game, the combat's fun. It's like, you have 4 characters in your party. I think you can only use 3 at one time. 3 or 4. Maybe it's just 3. But it's kind of like a running around type thing, where you're putting in different commands for everybody, and you can get force powers. Obviously, if you're a Jedi Knight, you get force powers, or Sith, whatever way you end up going. You have different force powers and stuff, and you can use blasters, obviously, and all that shit. You have thermal detonators and other types of explosives, I believe. I think this robot's the first person in your party. This is one I gotta go back to because I can't remember a ton of it. But yeah, or it says 9 customizable characters. Oh, you end up on the Sith world of Korriban as well. 7 enormous worlds. And I think if the guys in your party will get more experience, and I think the ones who aren't in battle with you, you kept out of that battle, I think get a little bit. I can't remember. You can, like I said, learn to use the Force with over 4 different powers and build your own lightsaber. You also have like regular swords too. You get early on. It's really cool. The Sith Lords is also really good. The second one. I want to say Obsidian developed that one. It's just really cool checking out these planets, and combat's really fun. And once again, it's another longer game. It's just a great RPG. Like, even if you're not into Star Wars, like, this is just cool. Even though there's nothing from the original trilogies and the stuff everybody knew at the time. I thought there were probably some books that would have discussed, maybe not this far back, but lightsabers and Jedi and Sith are there and everything else. But this is really fun. I don't know. It's cool. It's just cool going to different worlds and stuff like that, and seeing new enemies. Same thing, getting new gear, upgrading, getting new force powers, choosing which, because I think you can put points in each thing. Like, I think it has, you put points in different things, and different, maybe, force powers, I forget. It's a great game, though. Obviously, if you've not played this, check it out if you're into these kind of games. Like Jade Empire is another one they did, and the Mass Effects and stuff like that. But yeah, that is a gum-chewing top 5 original Xbox games, and if you like this video, give it a like, and if you're enjoying the game being up, and some people already are, thank you to the people with the feedback, let me know. Yeah, thanks for checking this out, and have a good night.